Why, hello again, it's us three again, and we're in a different series this time. We are in Chrome v KernelPanic. I do not know the true names of these players, but we have our Red Zerg Chrome up here in the top left, and our Terran in the pink trunks, KernelPanic in the bottom right. Alright, so Gabe, you are our resident Zerg, so hopefully there's a little bit more in this series that can pique your interest.
Well, I'm already happy. They're sending the Overlord to scout. So.
That's true. Zergs classically massive cheats because they have free flying scouts. No. KernelPanic here going for a more classic top of the ramp wall off. Bit of an early second SCV pool. Don't need an SCV pool this time.
It's Chrome.
I know that feeling very well.
I know that feeling very well.
Just Zerg. You don't have a build order. You just react. It's okay.
Yes, so he was going for a hatch first, and I believe he mistimed his Overlord, but that's fine. That's fine. And we've got a normal wall off here, the racks in the middle. No gas to follow up, so it won't be a Reaper opening. This second SUV building this second supply depot is a bit quick. You can get away without it for quite a while. It chews up a lot of resources that you could use on other things, but that's fine.
Obviously a Terran that's been link rushed once too many times.
Absolutely.
There's no interest in that happening ever again.
One too many 12 pools. And if this is indeed accurate, and it is his first Terran game in a year or so, it looks like he has remembered the fundamentals quite well. So we got what looks like a hatch gas pool, but we are missing the rather important bit of a spawning pool.
Nope.
Oh no, we're not. I am
like,
blind. Yep. Ignore me. So it was a hatch gas pool. A hatch pool gas, one of the two, close enough.
Hatch gas pool.
And we're going straight into an engineering bay as well. So is that going to be... it's orbital in the main. He's not going to planetary into the main, so I'm curious what this engineering bay is. Might just be some quick early upgrades, which I can always get behind.
So what's that Overlord?
Yeah,
Overlord's
looking
going
like
around outside.
Yeah, like a pretty passive macro game so far.
Yeah, nothing too outrageous.
Pumping out some pretty normal stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be going for a pretty average CC timing. It's not too bad. Particularly in TVZ, you normally want that a little bit earlier, but it's very reasonable. Already got a supply drop. I know that feeling well. What's that? That's the yes, that's the 31 that's been forgotten there. I'm very familiar with forgetting him. We got some decent macro out of the Zerg. By the looks, we've got a couple of queens on the way. I do wonder if there will be any creep spread at all, or whether that is asking a wee bit much. It's asking a wee bit much of me, to be fair, when I play Zerg. So
I think with the fact that you haven't seen any the links have just been sent out.
The links are doing some corner scouting, which is always a good idea. Just checking they can see if there's any proxies about, if there's any corner bases, anything cheeky going on. But no, it's all above board.
Often you can use your second Overlord to have a little scout out over towards that direction to just check that everything.
But this Overlord from Chrome is out in the middle of nowhere, and you know you're facing a Terran, so the Marines could come through at any point and snipe this. There are, normally in maps like this, a couple of little Overlord pillars in and around the base. You've got this one here, so we've got Overlords on top of that. It counts as high ground, and the Marines can't see it. But the advantage of being here, if you're willing to sacrifice this Overlord, is you can see any move-outs like that Reaper that just went by.
So they're going for a +1 attack?
It's an early +1 push.
It would be nice to see that Overlord. If you're okay with losing it, just move that into the main. You'd be able to spot that engineering bay, see the barracks. You can have some idea of what you're facing. And I'm pretty sure the Marines would make their presence known pretty quick.
Absolutely.
So you know you're up against Bio.
We do have a Reaper coming in, trying to be a bit cheeky. The Queen's going to get some pops off. Reaper is going to try and get some damage done, and it is going to get... Oh, no. Not going to get a drone. He is going to successfully chase this off. Oh no, Reaper's getting a bit greedy. He's gone for... Oh, that is a fun path. I mean, it will definitely keep the Zerg occupied for a minute or so, and it's very APM free for the Terran, so I don't mind it at all. Gives you some scouting information, because now our Terran knows that we've got a lair up here, but we haven't got a Roach Warren or anything like that quite yet.
I would also say for the Zerg, currently, you're floating a lot of minerals. This is a place where you could expand a few times, or at least check what's going on and do some early pressure.
We do have a third base coming up from our Terran player, which is lovely, but we are not currently building enough to satisfy our one barracks alone. A single fully saturated base can support 5 non-reacted barracks, so you can build 5 Marines at a time off of a single saturated mineral line. Off 2, you can support about 5 reacted barracks, which is roughly 10 or so Marines at once. So you can really ramp up this production and get a lot more Marines going and be at a lot healthier army count and be chewing through some of these minerals.
So we have the Spire coming up now from the Zerg.
Yep.
Should be nearly complete.
Zerg is finally expanding, which is good to see, although a bit late. And I'd like to see perhaps even another base. You can see it's gone up to a reasonably beefy worker count. It could definitely pump that even higher if you had a few more hatcheries to mine from.
I also think has the Zerg been keeping up with queen injects? Because that's you can often do. You can queue if you've missed a few. You can queue them up to then have that set up for later.
Absolutely, you can spam click inject lava onto a hatchery if you've missed a couple and you have the energy for it, and that will keep that ticking over for a while for you. It's not the most optimal way to do it, of course, but it does save you quite. It's a big worker transfer, but that's to the third base, which is understandable, I suppose. Though none of them have actually been told to start mining, so some of them are going to go back home for some more, and some are going to just sit around chilling.
So if you want to do that, you right click on the mineral patch, and then that does that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of mutalisks coming in from Zerg now. I think he's up to about 15 mutalisks, and that could be a big problem for the Terran.
At this point, I
now
want
with
to
4
see.
more popping, so yeah.
I want to see a lot more lings as well, because the lings are going to be able to distract.
And the lings do look like they're without Zergling speed, which they are, which is a great hindrance. Zergling speed increases the running speed of Zerglings by a tremendous amount and makes them a right nightmare to do. Ah, there it is. Just coming in now, he's just noticed.
Oh no, Marines run.
Oh,
the
okay,
Marines are scared off that many mutas, although the mutas could easily have destroyed that.
Yes, this is one problem with going very heavy Marauder, is they don't shoot up, which is a problem, but the Widow Mines certainly do, and if there's some poor control of the Mutalisks and they get clumped and run into 2 or 3 Widow Mines, it could be bye-bye Mutalisks all in one go.
So I think, is that the Zerg now getting running speed?
Yes, the Zerg is currently working on them.
So what I'd be doing now is send them in, maybe 1 or 2 have a poke, or send them all.
Yeah,
and see what damage you can get.
Harass and see what they can get done.
Now
they're going to get quite a lot done, I think. Needs to burrow those Widow Mines. Yeah. Okay, let's chase the mutas off for now.
Was doing that, it would have been effective to also send the lings in as a run by.
A 2-pronged attack is always a good idea. And these things are going to get melted by the planetary. Oh, here comes some juicy Widow Mine shots. Some very juicy Widow Mine shots. We just need 1 or 2 more. There's a Widow Mine underneath there. If he could... Oh, this one's... Oh, so close. There are only 6 mutas left there. 6 mutas in total. We do want to repair that, but that's fine. I can understand forgetting that in the heat of the moment.
That's a bit unfortunate for the Zerg. Mutas give you a lot of control, but they are vulnerable to Widow Mines. And Drilling Claws is now on the way. Drilling Claws is an upgrade which makes the mines go from tunneling underground to basically teleporting underground.
Absolutely. You see that animation there they just did to unburrow? They have a similar one for burrowing with Drilling Claws. Both of those animations take almost no time at all. Which means the Widow Mines can run straight underneath you and burrow very, very quickly indeed, and you don't have an awful lot of time to react. But that attack has put the Zerg in a pretty decent economic position compared to our Terran. The Terran is slowly rebuilding their main base economy.
At this point, I would like to see these like mass expand. As you know that the Terran doesn't have many units, you can now use this to really use those bases. If you're not very good at queen injects, it's very good just to have more bases, as you'll then be able to produce more units.
So what I do really like from the Zerg here is the map presence, the posturing across the map, keeping your enemy at home. So if the Terran were to try and go for a poke at any point to try and, you know, threaten maybe this third or a possible fourth, that you would pull them back with this nice clump of mutas and have some lings ready to go in. Now after the first attack, I would have left a couple of Widow Mines burrowed in that mineral line to defend, and indeed KernelPanic is going to abandon the defense entirely by the looks. And herein come the lings. There we go, there's the quick burrow, but that's, ooh, blimey. That's used all the, or most of the Widow Mines up, and Widow Mines do friendly fire. So if your Zerglings are on top of the enemy bio when they get shot by the Widow Mines, it will do a lot of friendly fire damage.
The Marauders up there.
So it will chase away the mutas, but the mutas could just as easily come in any other angle and cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, this is the point. As KernelPanic, where you want to take some of these Widow Mines, not a blob like that. You want to spread them out, have a couple along the fringes of your base. You know the mutas are coming at the top of your base. Leave some mines there to blast them out of the sky. Down here behind the natural, and just spread all over. Anywhere you think mutas can get, leave a Widow Mine there. That will teach them.
Because the Widow Mines are coming to move into your base, and they suddenly all become very, very bruised. It'll make them think twice. And here, it does look like we're going to see a little bit of a spreading out, setting up a wee bit of a minefield, which is a good idea. Maybe a little bit too little too late. I have no idea where these Widow Mines are going. Okay.
Maybe he's thinking that Mutalisks are coming in the top of his base, so he can catch them out there.
Perhaps.
Or he's trying to go for a Widow Mine run by,
which is a bold call, but I love it.
That does indeed look like where they're going. Have to keep an eye on those Widow Mines.
They keep on being given single move commands, and right now KernelPanic is a wee bit distracted. He is indeed panicking. Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh, and that's what we were talking about a minute ago. That is a lot of supply dead there, and we do have a cattle bruiser on its way. And whilst I do love a good cattle bruiser, and the enemy does not appear to have an awful lot of anti-air available to them at the moment. No spore crawlers in the back. We have one spore crawler here at the front, for reasons best known to KernelPanic alone.
Yeah. Battle cruisers could get a lot done, and they are great units. However, you're up against a Zerg that you already know has a Spire. They've got a lot of money in the bank. So, Mutalisks aren't amazing against battle cruisers, but they'll get the job done, and the Zerg could just as easily build Corruptors, which will thrash battle cruisers.
And an effective way to deal with a Terran when they're clumping all of their is to just send scouting units, like links, just a ling, and then bring in a overseer over the top.
Absolutely,
and
just like this.
And in this scenario, your mutas could come over and take them all out.
What we do need really is an overseer to be able to see them all. Actually, is there still an armory? There is still an armory. So the armory gives the Widow Mines the ability to cloak when they're burrowed. So normally when a Widow Mine burrows and it's shot its very close, it did drag on all the Zerglings rather than the mutas, so good for them. But normally after a Widow Mine has shot, so it's in its recharging phase, you can see it. But if you have a armory, that is not the case. They remain hidden the entire time. And this
KernelPanic, although he's being very, very annoying with these mines, look at that, 7.3k minerals in the bank. You know, although this is good, what you could be doing is you could have built 3 more command centers. You put down 8 barracks, and you could be pumping Marines to have something behind this pressure. So although it's all very well keeping the Zerg busy, they've still got that army, and now they're coming for you.
And there's no factory behind it. It's just the one battle cruiser. And here's the expansion, too little, too late, I'm afraid.
Did the Zerg get any upgrades on the mutas? Defensive?
No, currently the only upgrade is +1 attack for the Terran, which is
So
very useful indeed.
With the amount that Chrome has been floating, it would have been very good to just get the shields. Or what? I've forgotten the name of the
Armor.
upgrade, but armor upgrade for the mutas, especially when you know you're going against Winoma.
Absolutely. It helps them survive that little bit more. For every level of armor that a unit has, it resists 1 more damage per shot. So, for example, a Marine, I think by default does either 6 or 5 damage. I can't remember. I think it's 6 per shot. So a single level of armor reduces that down to 5. Oh, and that BC tried to teleport away, but was sadly caught out. And that's going to be KernelPanic out. But yeah, armor upgrades, great. The counter them obviously is normal upgrades. But there, for KernelPanic there, I think a heavier economic focus and a cleaner opening build order, I think would have been a great benefit.
And a bit more production built up behind it. You're floating a lot. You can build a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Just drop down a ton of barracks and build millions of Marines. Marines are a damn good unit and very versatile as well. But yeah, that's the end of game 1. We will now go into game 2. See you in a bit.